Good evening, associates. Welcome to our October 15th, 2020 updates, training, and Q&A call. This is Ken Goldberg in Orlando, Florida, and I would like to bring on our VP and Mr. Scott Grimm, if you can unmute. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Ken, and welcome everybody to our corporate exchange here tonight. And we're going to start off tonight with a question or two that has already been submitted to Ken, and we'll go ahead and address that, and then we'll get into our exchange format that we'll be laying out tonight. So all you, Ken.
Thank you. Let me bring on our CEO, Mr. Carlos Bertini, and if you'll unmute, sir.
Okay, I'm unmuted. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you. And hello, Scott. Always a pleasure to have you here. And hello, good evening to everyone here on the call. Thank you for coming. And tonight we'd like to talk some of the issues and some of the progress that we have. We'd like to just have a review, a recap of what we have and what we're doing all together. And but we do have a question, and I'd like to answer that question that was posted. And then we begin with our exchange tonight.
Very good. So the one question I received was from a gentleman, an associate, that had a training call with one of their account executives, and he had some more questions to verify what he had talked about with his account executive. And the question is, I am a veteran and want to use my VA benefits again. My average score is 773 with no money down. The funding fee is 3.6%. Listening to the videos, one would think no out-of-pocket would mean all or part of that would be covered. I'm looking at a home that is completed at a new development. Is this eligible under VA?
Okay, so the first part of the question says, I'm a veteran. I want to use my VA benefits again. The answer is yes, you can use it again. Okay, his average score is 773, which is great. It's a very nice score, which means that he will have a very high likelihood that the automated system will approve him and allow for some flexibilities to do with debt to incomes. Now it continues to say with no money down, the funding fee is 3.6%. So what we say is that when there is a VA loan, the Department of Veterans Affairs, they provide 100% financing. Nevertheless, there are closing costs. So with FundMyHome.org, we will let our preferred lenders provide this government-backed loan at 100%, and we will cover the closing costs. So this individual will come in with zero out of pocket. Now, what's interesting here is that this is not different from anybody. Any other lender working for any other office, if this was not FundMyHome.org, this veteran would get 100% financing, except for the Veterans Administration will not give them the money for closing costs. So in this case, with that arrangement, the person will have his zero out of pocket completely, 100% financing from the VA, and will cover the closing costs. But there's something else here. We also provide our associate members $3,200 per transaction. So this is really this is an ideal situation. The home buyer gets everything they want, everything they need, and the associate members get compensated. So okay, so that will be the answer to that. It says there that the home that he's looking for is completed at a new development. And the question is this eligible under VA? It is eligible. So we have to be careful here that this person, because if this person is already under contract, then it's important to know that we are not going to disrupt anybody's contract. So if there's a realtor here, we're not going to try to overpower anyone and show that we have a better opportunity, which simply are not going to obstruct anybody's hard work. So you make sure that this person is not already under contract, first thing, and then we'll work with that. Now, also, the question is, we don't know what state we're speaking about, because right now we are doing Florida and also Texas, and we're going to be talking about that too tonight, also about the states that are open, because we have said that we had California open for new construction, Tennessee, Colorado, Texas, and Florida, and tonight we're going to talk about that too. But on this question, Ken, I see that there is another part of the question that says, is this the same question or somebody else's question that continues here?
This continues. This is from Frank Brown. So the second part of the question is, he did the calculations for a home for $190,000, and his ratio was 55.75, and still would need to come up with $10,442.48 at closing. When does the calculator take consideration for the VA?
Okay, so in this case, so he wants to purchase something worth 190,000. The ratio is outside of the maximum allowed debt to income ratio under the Veterans Administration. 55.75% will not yield an approval. It will be, the maximum is 45 with his high credit score, probably maybe 50, but it's not going to never go one little bit over 50, regardless of what the credit score is. So we have a situation here that the purchase price might be too high now, but not be worried about that. I think that there may be some calculations that can be tweaked a little bit, perhaps some debt, some reductions here. So it's not that far. And another thing is that let us say that this veteran really wants this house. Let's just say that they couldn't get this house because of the debt to income was too high. They couldn't get this loan with the VA approved. But we don't have to only do them with a VA. We could have one of our preferred lenders do the transaction just as well using an FHA loan that would go all the way to 56%. So this person has, I believe, some money. So if it was necessary to switch from VA to an FHA loan just to make sure that they can purchase it, instead of having to come with zero out of pocket, they may have to come with little out of pocket. It just depends on how important it is and what we have. And sometimes, it is what it is sometimes. So this situation will warrant that the person try to make an appointment or go online and do a schedule on our online calendar to an appointment to speak to one of our account executives. And so this person, if it's for their own, if this is an associate who wants to purchase this, get with FundMyHome.org and support at FundMyHome.org and schedule, having sent you an email so they can schedule the online calendar. Okay, so that's it, right, Ken?
That's it, yeah. He's just mentioning that if he didn't go with FundMyHome, if you go with the builder right now, and it says $5,500 in closing fees, he gets blinds and a fridge and so on. No down, I guess no down with VA, but that's just a comment at the end. All right, thank you, Frank. That's a great question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very well. Thank you very much. So, Scott, we want to talk about a few things. There's some comments made online. So go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, and just so everyone understands how we're going to be handling these corporate exchange sessions moving forward, we are going to be addressing head-on any items that we feel are important from a corporate level. And we really want to up our game to a level of communication that is clearly understood so that everyone knows exactly where we are going as much as possible without getting bogged down in too many of the details. But we want to do the very, very best job that we can in communicating to all of our great associates, just where we are, where we're going, what are some of the roadblocks, hurdles, or things that might be, slowing progress. We want to do a much better job at communicating those types of issues with our associates, so we don't run into snags in the future moving forward. So we're really blessed and excited to be able to share that with you, that we're making some changes with regards to the way things are going to be communicated moving forward. We're able to do that because we've got an incredible group of leaders, both on the corporate level now and those that are volunteering. For example, we've got a new Lion Leaders Advisory Council that is almost completely formed now. I'm waiting for a couple of responses from those that have been invited, but we've got 5 now of the 7 to fulfill that advisory role. And that advisory council is going to be assisting corporate with every 2 weeks with a Zoom call type of a meeting where we're going to be discussing the most important issues as we move forward together as an organization. So we're making some great strides in a lot of areas. We're going to talk about some of those areas even here tonight. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to deal with 4 issues that we feel need to be addressed. These are issues that have been brought to the forefront, both from emails, questions to support, comments that we've seen posted on Facebook and things like that. And I'll share those 4 items with you in a minute, and then we'll go through them individually. But then we're also going to be opening up for you all to be able to have a chance to jump in and ask questions or give some positive feedback and things like that. So we'll have some two-way communications in these corporate exchanges as well. So the 4 items that we're going to discuss tonight, and then we'll open things up, is number 1 is the new construction initiative. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Number 2 is the states that we are in or not in and why. And number 3 is the second great pillar of our opportunity here at FundMyHome.org, and that's fundraising and why it's so critical and important, and maybe some facts that we can share with you all tonight as to why we don't need to fundraise, but at the same time, we really need to fundraise, and we're going to talk about that. And then finally tonight, we're going to talk about the proper protocol that everyone is to follow moving forward with regards to any issues that you might have, so that we're all on the same page and that we understand as associates there are certain guidelines that you need to follow, that I need to follow, and if we get outside of those lanes, there will be consequences for that, and we're going to talk about some of those consequences tonight, and hopefully get everybody to buy in to the importance of making sure that we're following the proper protocols. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started, Carlos, and we're going to start with the new construction initiative. And before I ask you to start speaking to that, I want to say, as a business development consultant and a lifetime business owner and entrepreneur myself, having started numerous companies and been involved with large companies such as General Motors for 10 years, I know the dynamics of launching such a large, when I say large, I'm talking about the vision of a company like FundMyHome.org that really has no equal in the marketplace. I believe that FundMyHome.org is a disruptive real estate organization that is going to change the way real estate is being done for millions of people. And those are people that we're called to service. And those are the ones that are stuck in that vicious cycle of home rentership. And our mission is to move them out of there and into their ability to start creating generational wealth by getting a piece of the American pie. So I understand, Carlos, the challenges of starting such a large, visionary type of a project like this. And I also understand, because my area of expertise is in automation and scaling, and I really understand the technical and the financial and the production side of those challenges with regards to something like a national new construction initiative that we're trying to start. So along those lines, Carlos, where are we right now as a organization with regards to our initiative? And maybe if you could shed some light on some of the, where we are, first of all, and then secondly, why we are where we are, and third, maybe, where do you see us going in the future with the new construction initiative?
Okay, well, thank you. With the new construction, we have done a lot of preparation and been able to put together a lot of home designs and lay out the groundwork quite significantly in across the country, throughout all the counties. A lot of hands on the ground, inspections, land preparations, construction, supplies, an entire organization that is necessary for when we receive orders. And we've done a lot of strides, and we've gone a long way for this. And now, when it comes now close to start to receiving orders, then we now get closer and closer to the biggest challenge of all, which is we don't have enough volume to enter into, because of the sheer amount of different models and manufacturers. We don't have enough volume to enter in their production lines and to schedule ourselves in production lines. And that is an interesting situation. And the only way that we could solve that is by us getting together and start raising the volume here. We certainly cannot come in and deliver 1,000 models when we don't even have one single order. And so that creates quite a bit of logistics situation, because the manufacturers have to be scheduled months in advance. But it just can't be just scheduling one transaction. It's got to be a multitude of transactions. And because we have a multitude of models, then it's got to be a multitude of transactions to satisfy the scheduling of these manufacturing plants. So that is quite interesting that we have to be faced with that very high requirement. It's a normal requirement, but we're faced with now the reality that we at the moment cannot fill those requirements. So the preparations are there. We now need to start getting to work. And it's interesting. And the only thing that we can do is to start practicing together and start to together as a network, as all the associates, to start sharing the word of what we do, and then we can start getting people to go through the processes. We have such an incredible machinery here, and we have to get all the associates to start using it. And that's what we are now. I think that while we ramp up the speed of things here, we have to focus now in what we have, which is just the state of Florida, because we even opened up California, Texas, Colorado, Tennessee, and not even one application has come in. So now that forces us to close it again, and it has to be closed. So the decision is simple. It's not a very pleasant decision, but we have to temporarily put that aside until we all grow together and bring everybody up to speed and start to generate some traction, some movement, because there is no reason why we shouldn't be doing 1,000 transactions a week. There's no reason why we couldn't do 500 a week, maybe 100 plus a week. And it's not because we cannot do it, because we have an entire company dedicated for you guys. It's just because you guys are not talking to enough people to generate applications. And then, interestingly enough, we do transactions because we're not going to stop working because the associate members are not working. So the company does their own, but now it's time for you to do your own. And so right now, to answer that question in a long answer, we're going to temporarily put that aside for now, and we're going to take your minds from it and not think about what you don't have, but think about what you already have here, and you have a great multitude of opportunity in fundmyhome.org. So that's the answer to that, and we could certainly begin to take questions through support@fundmyhome.org, and we'll be addressing everything, all the questions that people may have about this subject.
Okay, great, Carlos, and thank you for bringing us up to speed. And just maybe to put some things in layman's terms for everyone, obviously there's a great challenge here when we're talking about modular homes in dealing with these manufacturing plants. There's got to be orders to fill the pipeline. They're not going to start, building product for us if we're not able to fill a pipeline. So it's very important that we have the volume of transactions to be able to start placing orders. And in order for us to scale that, there needs to be a much more aggressive closing on new transactions for us and offers to make this thing happen. So thanks for bringing us up to speed. Now we're gonna talk about and Carlos, again, I'm just really zeroing in on the things that we do have right now. And as a matter of fact, maybe we should talk a little bit about that right now because we want everyone to know that we've got so many wonderful opportunities already in place that are really setting us up for success to all be blessed by this incredible prosperity project that we have here. And so, we've got, and I like to keep it real simple. As associates, we've got the ability to make an income from, getting grant recipients in the pipeline and getting them approved in the state of Florida, where right now there are 25 million people living in the state of Florida. It's the third largest state in the United States now, population-wise. We're going to talk about this in a little bit, but we're number 2 in the nation right now for realtors, and for a very good reason. We've got the number 1 real estate market in the world. So we've got a huge opportunity to market from anywhere in the world, to be able to market new clients, realtors, anyone that fits our need in a wonderful marketplace as far as being a social media referring society. So it's incredible. We've got the ability to also build a team and be able to get overrides, and we can do that from anywhere in the world. And be able to build a marketing team that is soliciting and servicing a huge market, 25 million strong in the state of Florida, just as an example right now, not to mention, rolling out in Texas as well. So, we've got that opportunity. We've got the ability for us to begin to raise funds and become a fundraising hub, an independent fundraising hub, and be able to get proceeds at an astounding 7.5% of everything that we do on a personal level. Okay, it's another just great pillar of opportunity that we've got here at FundMyHome.org. And then in addition to that, we're able to build a team of fundraisers and be able to get overrides on another 8 levels again there. That's a tremendous financial opportunity for us in a marketplace that last year over $850 billion were given to nonprofit organizations like ours, and we're able to go out and get into that huge market that is, it's phenomenal. So we've got that opportunity. So, and then in addition to that, we're able to solicit realtors, and the state of Florida right now is number 2 in the United States with the number of realtors that are in the state of Florida. There's literally hundreds, over 170,000 plus realtors in this state. That's a lot of realtors that we're able to solicit. So, we are blessed to be able to have this plethora of opportunity that each of us can benefit from. So while the new construction initiative might be, being set back right now because we don't have the volume, we still are very, very blessed, and we are in a situation that we really need to be thankful and grateful for. and not, be sitting here, waiting for, maybe a state to roll out. We can get to work now with what we do have. We're maybe waiting for the new construction to roll out. If we've been waiting for that, life is at times has disappointments and setbacks, and this is the reality of where we are. But we want to get out there and bring you all up to speed. But at the same time, man, we are extremely positive right now with what we do have. So thanks for bringing everybody up to speed on that new construction initiative, Carlos. And go ahead. It is what it is. Is there anything you want to add with the new construction?
Let's add something that we are going to implement quickly as a sort of like a replacement or to that effect. Okay, so we have made plenty of contacts with some of the largest builders in the country, nationwide builders. Okay, so this replacement for us not being our own builder, owner, seller, financer, because this is very important. When we become the owner, builder, seller, financer, imagine the opportunities that opens for the home buyer. Incredible. But unfortunately, we have to have value. Okay, so let's go back and step back a little bit. There are national builders, large national builders that we made some rearrangements that we can bring them, our customers, with our down payment assistance, and they will accept our customers. And at that time, at that moment, you still get your $3,200. The home buyer gets a brand new home, and they get their down payment assistance. But it's not going to be us being the owner, builder, seller, financer. It's going to be similar to selling a home that is already existing, similar to selling a home that is for sale on the MLS. Okay. The thing to remember about this is when we roll this out, people are going to be able to drive around in their cities, towns, and be able to drive by an existing development on the construction. And they will be able to go there to those big builders and pick their homes that they build, the beautiful, wonderful models, and we'll be able to give them down payment assistance in a arrangement that we will have with those builders. So they get what they're looking for, brand new house, down payment assistance, and our associate members get their $3,200. And in this way, you still are working for us as marketers, and it's the same arrangement, except for it's a new home, except for we are not the owner, builder, seller, financer. And we will get there, but we're going to implement this as soon as we can, and we can start doing it, because this brings a great opportunity, because somebody's driving around, they see a neighborhood, they stop by and done. The thing to remember about this is that we have to teach our home buyers to not go to those communities unattended without us being the sender, because then they're going to consider that home buyer their home buyer. So what we have to do is we have to follow the process. We got to get him pre-qualified. We got to get him approved. We got to get him normally, because first of all, no money, no honey. And then we send them over. And now, deal done. They get the beautiful dream home, brand new house. They get to choose and do whatever. But we're backing them up with down payment assistance, financing, and everyone wins. So that is I think that's a very good approach that we are going to have the approach anyway, even if we were the only builder, seller, financer, because there's still a very large market out there with many, many builders across the country, across the cities. There are many, many developments going up. All right, so we talked about that.
Okay, well, so as far as the protocol for that, the real key there is to get the potential clients, to get them in the system, to get them, quote unquote, pre-qualified, pre-positioned, to still do our marketing and to get them onboarded, so to speak, get them qualified, and then to guide them to, the right builders in their areas and stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're saying, Carlos?
Yes, and I'm saying very specifically to prevent them from getting there first. Because if they get there first without us being pre-approved, grant, everything ready to go, then they will consider them to be their customers from their own efforts. And there's nothing that the home buyer is going to be able to say or do to say, but please let me use FundMyHome. They're going to say, absolutely not. So we had to teach our people to say, okay, follow the process. Again, no money, no honey. So you should be first getting approvals before you start looking at homes. But people tend to do the opposite, and that's understandable. All right, so we talk about that. Now, the other thing that I want to touch on is on the real component that Scott spoke about. So we have now open the component of recruiting realtors. So who can recruit realtors? Associate members can for our realty company, FundMyHome Real Estate Corporation. Okay, so when our associates recruit realtors, they get paid on every transaction that the realtors do. But who else can recruit realtors? The realtors themselves can recruit realtors. So the realtors themselves get 100% split, and then on top of it, be able to recruit other realtors and get an additional $300 per transaction when their recruits on the realty part side do a transaction. This is every transaction they do. So now we have a situation that is a win-win-win for realtors, because the realtor comes to FundMyHome Real Estate Corporation and they get 100% split. Then they have a transaction that they couldn't close because the customer needed a multitude of attention that we do, like that FundMyHome.org does, like student loan forgiveness, paying off all collections, the credit supplements, and let's not forget, down payment assistance, non-repayable, no income limits. So some realtors that are going to be working for us, getting 100% split, they are going to have some customers that won't qualify regardless of where they work, whether they work with us or work with RE/MAX. The deals are going to be dead. So now the realtor will have an opportunity to continue to be able to make a transaction, because the transaction will be TO'd over to FundMyHome.org and then be compensated according to the compensation plan of FundMyHome.org. But who else wins? You, the associate. So that becomes a win-win-win, because now the realtor can do their normal business, but which is not normal because we'll be paying 100% split, have the good name and accolade of being part of FundMyHome.org, be able to recruit other realtors and earn on that, and on top of it, be able to be a part of FundMyHome.org and ensure that more transactions get closed. So I wanted to also touch on that. And the thing about that Scott said is, we have here, Florida ranks number 2 in the country for number of real estate agents, but doesn't mean that they're number 2 in transactions. Florida ranks number 1 in transactions in the country. So now you got 25 million people. Now let's just say something here. If you have somebody that needs to have a living anywhere in the world, somebody in Bangladesh, and you offer them $750, okay, they're going to go after it because they want it, they need it. We need to start acting as if we want or need something here, because we have it here to take. So just because you're not in Florida does not mean that you couldn't market Florida.
Absolutely.
22 years ago, I did my first transaction outside of Florida, and it wasn't the last one. So, okay, so we spoke about that. What's the next subject?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Carlos, and I hope that, I remember, and I was I think the first person to join FundMyHome.org at the very beginning, and with your vision, and I know early on there was a lot of, there wasn't much for realtors, there was, but getting past the stigma of, having to give up their transaction, it wasn't appealing to them, and they couldn't see beyond the reality that these are folks that they couldn't get qualified, that were going in their filing cabinet and just sitting there, but they still couldn't see that. And now that's been completely turned around to where this is so appealing to realtors. And I just ran a simple, one-day ad on Facebook and got 2 realtors immediately that watched the video that got back with me and are interested in our opportunity now because they see the tremendous value in it. So I believe that this one thing right here is going to be what really propels FundMyHome.org moving forward. And I potentially see us being one of the largest real estate companies in the United States at some point in time because of this. It's disruptive. So it's a win-win-win, and it's a win-win, especially for realtors. So that's really good news. And thanks for bringing that up, Carlos, and highlighting that. The other, I know we already touched on this, and that's the states that we're in. But just to clarify, one more time for everybody, we are in Florida. And we're also in Texas, but the rest of the states right now, we're not focusing on because we don't have the volume, we don't have any transactions, and the market for us right now is really to focus on Florida and then begin to get interested parties in the individual states, and if we can get enough of a volume in those states to officially launch there again, we will. In the meantime, we're backing up. We're taking one step back there and focusing on what we do have that's working right now and where we do have volume and traction, and that is primarily in Florida. Is that basically where we are, Carlos?
Yeah, well, actually, it's more than that. 99% of the applications are coming from Florida. Now, I don't know why, because we're not saying don't come to Texas. We're not saying anything, but we rarely hear anything from Texas. So if that's it, then we just simply close Texas for now, and we only focus in Florida. And I tell you, this is not, you're not missing out on anything, because it's not like there was 100 transactions coming through.
Right.
We're not missing out on anything, because you can market from any corner of the United States or any corner in the world to Florida. and this is a thriving market. So you're not missing out on anything. So let's just get some volume going and get that moving. So
Exactly.
what's the next topic?
Okay, so the third topic that we were going to discuss was the fundraising. And before we get too far into that, I know that, with FundMyHome.org, at its very core, at its foundation, has always been our collaboration with our 5013C nonprofit, Real Estate Mortgage Grants and Down Payment Assistance, Inc. Part of the vision, I know, Carlos, that you've had from the very beginning was to have a nonprofit apparatus in place that was able to raise funds to assist in the development of the plan to achieve our goal of 1 million new homeowners in the United States over the course of the next 30 years. So I know that fundraising has always been very close to your heart, and that the nonprofit apparatus has always been at the foundation of FundMyHome.org. However, I know from a corporate level and our conversations with one another that initially your plan of action moving forward with fundraising was to do it at a corporate level, and also to hire professional fundraisers. And thankfully, I want you to share with our organization what you decided to do and what drove you to make that decision into how we're fundraising now.
Well, thank you. Well, this is part of a complete, comprehensive global market structure here. This is there's a good number of organizations and companies that make possible the name FundMyHome.org, the concept, the program. You have to start somewhere. You could get any expert grant writer and will tell you, you need at least 3 years of existence before somebody's going to even listen to you, to give you a single nickel. So we knew that from the very beginning. So we've been carrying FundMyHome.org, us, okay? And the interesting thing is that we actually don't need any money to do what we say we do, to do what we do since 2017. We don't need any fundraising. But it takes about 3 or 4 years before the company, as Scott's been saying, is grant ready. And this is not just Scott's understanding. This is how it works.
You don't just open a fundraiser, a nonprofit, and the next week you start getting money. It's impossible. So we've been carrying happily and doing all these things, and I can tell you that we actually don't need the money. But is the money incredibly important? Is it important to raise $12 billion? Of course it is. Money will do wonders. But I can tell you one thing. We could and had thought of doing the fundraising from a corporate level. We thought of doing fundraising from a place where we simply pay grant writers.
In 99% of the grant writers, they only want to get paid by the hour. They get paid $40 an hour, 45, 35, it's around that range. We hire a dozen of them and pay them by the hour, and they go out to town and raise millions upon millions and millions of dollars. FundMyHome.org, as a corporation, does not need associate members to do fundraising. But then we made this crazy decision to turn the company into for the people, by the people, in each possible way. FundMyHome.org can do its own down payment assistance without associate members, but we made the crazy decision to turn it into for the people, by the people. The good news is that we have such a resolve, such a commitment, and such a clear understanding that the way of the guaranteed success is with the associates. And that together we get to the promised land, the real big picture here, the grand bowl of opportunity, okay? The ballroom of opportunity. So we do it together. So luckily that we are very clear about that. So, but I can tell you that the associate members cost us a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of headaches and money. And we still are committed, and we will. And we're committed in such ways that we are bringing you more and more support for you to be able to achieve together, actually, what we're trying to do, which is not just home ownership. This is a prosperity project. A prosperity project includes making people finally abandon their poverty consciousness and to be able to put them in a routine, help them to change. And now we even have coaches that are free of charge to you, not to us, because we paid them. We have our account executive assistants, free to you, but we pay them, and on and on. So, Scott, if you have any other topics, we'll talk about it, but if you don't, I want to give a full loop of what we're doing right now. And
okay, I'd like to just
the loop and tell you what it is that we want from you.
Okay, let me just touch one more point on fundraising, so everybody understands this is an incredible opportunity. And you know, we're going to talk finally. The last thing we're going to talk about before we open it up, Carlos, is about the protocol for issues of concern and the need for everybody to follow those protocols. But we want everyone to know out there that that with the fundraising, if you haven't done your due diligence yet, and I know a lot of you have not with the fundraising, because I see comments on Facebook group pages where there's been negative comments that have been said that FundMyHome.org is just, it looks like all they're concerned about is fundraising right now. They must need money, and this isn't good. So I'm on hold. So on and so forth. So that is not the case at all. And the case with that is that you haven't done your homework and been a part of the conversation around the fundraising, to see the dynamics of it, to see all of the hard work that's been done so far in putting together the infrastructure for us to be successful, and to realize what a great opportunity and blessing this is and can be for you as an associate. So, I just want everybody to know that this fundraising is a very, very big deal. And if it's something that you haven't heard about yet, 7.5%, we pay 32 cents of every dollar directly to our team, to our associates. That's a wonderful opportunity for you to start earning extra income if that's something that you want to be doing. And we're going to give you all the tools to do that. So we've got workshops that we're doing and things like that. So it's a wonderful opportunity. It's not that we need money, but it's always been part of the vision of FundMyHome.org. And it's the way we want the system to operate, that we've got such a great cause and mission that we are like Habitat for Humanity. And we are, who, by the way, raised $2.7 billion last year. And we know that we can beat Habitat for Humanity over the course of the next 30 years. So that $12 billion fundraising goal is very, very sustainable. We can achieve that, and we're excited about it. So moving on to the last thing, Carlos, that we want to talk about is what protocol that our associates should be using with regards to questions, comments, things like that, so that they understand their responsibility in making sure that they are following the guidelines that have been set forth, so that we don't get negative comments and things like that posted on Facebook that they haven't done their due diligence. What protocol do you want them to follow so that these things stop happening?
Well, this is a just a wish. People are going to continue to do what they do, and we can't hold much to that. But we just want you to understand that when somebody puts a comment, when the comment is unfortunately based on lack of information, the comment causes a lot of confusion for the ones that read it. And sometimes the comments are meant to create gossip, and the comments are meant to I don't know what's they're very unpractical. But here is how we are going to begin responding to some of these comments. So somebody has a question about something, and we're going to respond with another question, and we're going to respond to, okay, so you have a question about one of your customers? Oh, no, I have a question about this other thing. Oh, I'm sorry, you said it one more time. You said you have a question about one of your customers? Oh, no, I don't have a customer. Oh, okay, so you have a question about how to get in a customer, right? Oh, no, you're not understanding me. No, sir. No, ma'am. We are understanding you. But if you have a question, make sure that it's about a customer, because that's what you came here to do. You did not come here to become the board of directors. You came here to use our services that we have, great services, and use our opportunity here that's immense. So if you have a question about a customer, then you are going to start doing well. If you don't have any questions about a customer, then find out a question about how to get customers. And we got all those answers. But we are going to start having to put the brakes on people and say, okay, do you have a question about one of your customers? And we are going to help you to get moving, to get in a routine and break the ice, and help you how to talk, how to be tall, strong, and with great foundation. We're going to make you whatever you want us to make you and help you. We got coaches, etc. So the protocol is going. We just want to make sure that people cool off a little bit and they start to be more responsible for themselves.
Okay.
You have a question about a customer? Let's go. So, okay, Scott, what I would like to do now is I'd like to go in full circle of what we have now. Okay. So, what do we have here? We have a situation that we have all these opportunities, all these services, and this great operation that has so many people working for you, ready and available, well-trained, that they could do it on their own, but we made it for the people, by the people. Okay, so now what do we have here? You come in and become an associate member. Then we tell you, and right on our page, a video comes up and tells you, okay, heads up, this is not your regular website that is half done here. This website is very comprehensive. So a video comes up and tells you, okay, this is about what's about to happen now. And these are the opportunities. And this is what we want you to do. You are going to get an email, a welcome email for you to enroll on your orientation and your onboarding and orientation call. Now, this onboarding and orientation call, we made it, designed it for you because most of the associates were leaving their new downlines completely in the dark. So we figured, why are we going to let these people suffer and idle for weeks because the associate member is not showing up, doesn't know the content. So let's take it upon ourselves. We're going to train everybody ourselves. So that we look around and we don't know any other company out there that is actually doing these orientation calls for hours and hours when necessary. So we do that. We're going to teach you, give you your orientation, teach you the culture of the company, what we expect from you, what we expect from the home buyers. We teach you the front office, the back office, and all that. But today, we're even doing more. So we are now giving you your own sales funnel. But we're not just giving it to you so that you could rack your brains out. We are going to configure your own sales funnel. This sales funnel, we give it to you for free. It's not free for us, that's for sure, but we give it to you for free. The people that are going to help you answer the phone calls are not free either. We got to pay them. But we give you the sales funnels for free. And on top of it, we help you configure your YouTube advertising campaigns or whatever campaigns you want to work on. Because now you have, and we do that on the spot. We don't release you when you become a member until that's completed. So we're now going to send you home ready to work. So that's all good. Now, we can give you all the assistance, but now you need to be mentored so that you can break the ice, you can start getting busy, getting a routine. So we now give you coaches. The coaches, again, are not free to us. They're free to you. We pay them. So now you get going and all that. All this wonderful situation, tremendous operation, money here, money there, everything available. And we do this all in exchange of one thing, that you do whatever it takes for you to bring guests to the opportunity calls. That's it. If we have 1,000 people, 4,000 people, there should be no reason why every one of you should bring one person to the calls, do whatever it takes. We'll do our part. We'll do whatever it takes to help you, and we are. And now you do whatever it takes to honor us back, to honor us the time that we put in tonight for you, and tomorrow night, and all this time for you, and the money, and the effort, and the ingenuity, and on, to honor us by bringing at least one person per night. And if you did that, we wouldn't have 50 people on the calls. We would have 5,000 on the calls. Mm-hmm. And if you do it the next day, look, simple stuff. When you bring somebody to the opportunity call, the only thing that this guest can say is, oh my God, what's this? This is interesting. If anybody can honestly say that there will be another reaction, send us a comment to support@FundMyHome.org. But the only reaction is always saying, wow, this is interesting. I think I can do that. Wow. And then we're going to onboard them. And when they say to themselves, wow, I wonder how much this is. I don't think I can afford this. And they know there's only $59. Then they're on board. All you have to do is share the opportunity, and they will onboard as associates. And we're going to move into the system. We're going to give them an account executive. We're going to give them the sales funnels. We're going to give them the coaches. So we're going to make that person be successful for you, so you can build your downlines and have a good time.
Wow,
and that's it.
That's beautiful, Carlos. And this is a little tagline that I'd like everybody to put to memory: is that at FundMyHome.org, as we're sharing this, that we talk the talk, and FundMyHome.org walks the walk. So in other words, we're the mouthpiece. So we're the social media referral society. We're out there talking about this incredible opportunity and wooing in, those that can benefit from it in so many different ways with our Prosperity Project. And then we've got an executive assistant that we bring them to, and they do the walk with, they do the walk part of it. So we talk the talk. And our executive assistant walks the walk for us. That's an incredible, it's like I said, there's no equal out there to this. And we're putting together a system that's going to be a repeatable, duplicatable process for success for each and every one of us. That's only going to continue to get better and better and better because the foundation is there. It's incredible. So that's fantastic, Carlos.
But I think that we don't have to put it together. It's already put together.
Right. But we're constantly improving it. Mm-hmm.
It's not constantly improving, but it's already here. So something else is that we are also bringing into the mix, as with our coaches now, a coach for the Creole speaking market. So if you have people that they are Haitian community speaking Creole, then we're going to bring you those coaches as well. Now there is also now a coach for the Spanish markets. Mm-hmm. So this is already at hand. We had some conversation today with some members of the Creole communities, and they're saying, yes, of course, we would love to that. So in the next few days, we're going to hopefully bring them on next week, and you're going to have that. So we're going to help out everywhere we can, every possibility. But we have a great situation here. So we have a great service. Somebody's got to use it.
Amen. Amen.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we covered the four major areas. I would just like to say one thing about the protocol for issues of concern, and that is to do everything that we do with total efficacy. And if you've got an issue, because I found this already to be true. If you've got an issue that you're making a comment about on Facebook, having not gone to the source to find out if this in fact is true, the issue that you're bringing up, then really shame on us for doing something like that. So the protocol that we need to follow is, if you've got a real issue and you've checked it out, and you confirmed on your end that there's a problem, that something wasn't handled properly or something like that, you confirmed it on your end, then instead of posting it on Facebook, go right to support@fundmyhome.org and email them specifically with your identifying number and name, and ask and give them the details in an email as to what the concern is, and they will respond to it. And one thing I can tell you is that our corporate staff, our executive assistants, are very well trained. There's an incredible system of accountability that's put in place, and that they are highly motivated to close transactions. They don't let things just sit there and not get attended to. They are highly motivated financially to close transactions. So please, instead of making posts that cause confusion and breaks down morale and things like that, do your homework. We have people making posts. I'm just going to use this as an example. We've had people make posts in the last week on our Facebook pages that haven't even gone through the onboarding process yet, and they're on there complaining about a client that they thought didn't get attended to properly, and only to find out that the grantee, the potential client, didn't even fill out their application, or they stopped on the process. So it wasn't even a legitimate concern in the first place. But this individual hadn't even gone through the onboarding process. And he's sitting there making these derogatory statements about the organization that is, like what Carlos said, it's about gossip. So we're not going to stand for that. Okay, we're going to take a stance against that, and you could risk really losing your membership at FundMyHome.org. There's a proper way to handle those things, and we need to follow that if we're going to be successful as an organization. It's just the proper thing to do. So with that, Carlos and Ken, why don't we go ahead and open it up for questions, comments, things that are really are pertinent to our conversation here tonight. Does that sound good?
Sounds great, but I would also like to invite anyone here that has had experience with the onboarding and orientation call, so that person can share what they went through, what the experience, whether it was positive or not. And this will be interesting, because I think that we have a fantastic orientation call.
I agree.
But if anybody wants to make a comment, it will be very useful tonight.
Okay, if you do, go ahead and raise your hand. And Ken, you're gonna take the call over from here as far as the admin on that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to raise your hand, go to More, and it should say Raise Hand. At that point, I'll open it up. You'll have to unmute yourself. You'll be able to ask your question. We have any questions out there?
Yes, and meanwhile, if no one here has gone through the orientation call, everybody here needs to know that if you want to, all you have to do is you send us email to support@fundmyhome.org, and they will bring you up to speed with a renewed orientation call, if that's what you need, and it will be, again, done for you, and it will take an hour or 2 hours, as long as you want to. Okay, but if anybody's here that has gone through it, let us share that with the rest. If not, anybody has any questions or comments, we can talk, and we're definitely here together. We just want to make sure that that what we're trying to do is very monumental. We're trying to make you successful, and we are going to with the coaches. The coaches are dedicating their time, and they're very excited about this great possibility.
Okay, Carlos, I had a follow-up question on the realtors for the corporation.
Okay.
And my question is, what realtors in what states can ask to bring their license over to the corporation at this time?
Okay, at this time, we're speaking about the state of Florida, and what we're saying is the state of Florida ranks second in number of real estate agents in the country, and is ranking first in number of transactions.
Okay.
So for now, we're speaking about Florida, but it's a super big opportunity.
Can I add to that? If we build out, listen, if everybody gets on the same page and we get super excited, I don't care where you are in the world tonight, if you get focused on Florida and we start to build this thing out, then we are going to then have the leverage to take this to other states. It'll be the spark that catches the fire, going. It makes the fire get going across the country. Okay, so And we do have, by the way, Ken, Mike Houston's wanting to unmute, and if you could unmute him, he wants to talk about the onboarding process today.
Okay. Can we first go to Henry? If you're still there, he's had his hand up for a while.
Okay, great. Okay.
You there? Just unmute.
Hey guys.
Henry.
So as you guys all know, well, some of the new people brought it down, right? Just trying to be funny here. So FundMyHome is going to implement a process called CPI, continuous process improvement. So think of it this way. You're going to a job interview and you're using your GPS, right? You're new in this town, but the locals know the shortcuts, right? So you finally arrive at your location and you only got minutes to get to the door, but you're in one of this commercial complex. The complex is huge, so you don't know where the main entrance is, right? You finally go in there and you sit down for your interview, right? That's kind of what the onboarding process is right now. Once you get the opportunity, you pay your $59. You have to go through that onboarding process so the veil is removed, and you can calm down and really pay attention to the process and execute properly. The person that invited you can help you through this experience.
Perfect. Thank you, Henry.
All right.
Thank you, Henry. Okay, I have some other hands here. I can go to Mike if you'd like first. Let me find him. Mike Houston, I've asked you to unmute your end, please, and go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go right ahead, please.
Yes,
Can you hear
Mike.
me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm not seeing the people and stuff. I just went through the onboarding process. I thought it was very effective because, there's lots of information here, and they stepped it through in a way that you know where to go back for it. I mean, if I've been in things, you got in and you didn't even know they had these things on the site because there's so much. But they stepped you through and they did a very good job of it. It was actually one girl, and I could have stayed as long as I wanted, but she stepped me through everything, showed the videos, and I think that's very valuable for a new person coming on because the human mind tends to get overloaded, and when it's laid out systematically and very concisely, it's like you get a stable point. And so I've come back and started watching some of the videos and things like that. But I thought that onboarding process was a very brilliant idea. I'm surprised nobody else ever figured that out. So anyway, that's what I want to say. Onboarding is great to bring a person through it. You can step them through, but even then they'll have more questions. So, they still need to go through the onboarding process and they get some of their deeper questions answered. So kudos.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. Sandra, I'm unmuting you. Unmute your mic, please. Sandra, you have your hand raised. Sandra Ransom.
Okay, I got it.
There you go. Go ahead, please.
Hi, how y'all doing this evening?
Perfect.
Okay. I have a question. It may be off the hook, but don't you think if you started processing the applicants that you have now, that you would get more interest and get more states started if you have applicants that have already been taken care of and processed? So that like me myself, I'm an applicant myself. I haven't been onboarded yet because I'm not quite ready, but I work with a team that has people that have been ready to be onboarded, but they have people from different states than what they're in, some within the states that they're in, and they're waiting for the states to open to be onboarded.
Okay.
You can't onboard them as you get them and then process them, or am I missing something?
Okay, are you speaking about, when you speak about these individuals, are you speaking about them being home buyers or associate members?
Home buyers.
Home buyers, okay. Well, where are they located?
Well, I have one myself here in Delaware. I have another one that is not sure whether she wants to move to stay in Delaware or move to Maryland. And myself, I'm going to stay in Delaware.
Okay. Of course.
I know some of my team have some in Delaware, some in Las Vegas, and some in another state.
Okay, and so just to go through it, have they gone through their discovery process?
Well, I went through to attempt the onboarding, which I had let Ken know about the one problem I had, and I didn't get the right people at the right time. So my first one hasn't been onboarded.
Through the discovery process, because we have a whole system that allows our home buyers to discover for themselves the dollar amount of their potential eligibility, and then match it to the local real estate market, because that will be step one.
Yes,
but
they've been all through that to the point where they've uploaded all their information. We're ready to be onboarded. Yes. We've been through all of that, the whole thing, except the onboarding.
I understand, and I hear you, and I acknowledge your point of view is very, very valid. Right now, we're going to say that let us use what we have, where we're open, because the home buyers that you have, 5 or 6 home buyers, that's great, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't make money here with us, because all you have to do is beam the efforts to Florida, and you will be making money next week. So fine, and I understand about the frustration that you couldn't help them where they are, but you could help yourself where we are open.
So,
and that's
okay.
the whole point here. The point here is that for you to earn a good living here, that's why you came. And we're telling everybody, okay, use what we got.
Okay, now is that where that sales funnel comes in?
Yes.
What?
Okay, because
Yes.
I don't have that.
What did you ask? I'm sorry,
that.
I didn't hear the question.
The sales funnel, is that where that comes in? Because
Well,
I know two people in Florida that are not even thinking about being home buyers. I don't really know many people down there.
Well, you don't have to know them. This is the beautiful thing about the internet. But the sales funnels, they work for whatever configuration you're going to give it. We're going to give it to you for free, and we're going to configure it for you. So if you don't have it, and a lot of people don't have it because we just made this decision just the other day.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So then simply everyone should know, contact support at FundMyHome.org, says, okay, I'm a member. I would like to get my sales funnel, and I'd like to get a new orientation call. We will welcome you and spend the hour or two that's necessary to get you moving and make you, and look, you don't have to wait for Nebraska. You can make money today in Florida. And there are more realtors here. This is the second largest market where there's this ranking number 2 in realtors in the entire country.
Okay.
So you could bring realtors, get the attention of them, and guess what? You make money today.
Okay. Can I add something, Carlos? Sandra, and again, you can reach out to me personally if you'd like, Scott at FundMyHome.org. I think we might have talked once.
Yes, we have.
But as far as coaching and helping you get familiar with digital marketing, online marketing, and the tools that we have and stuff, I could just tell in speaking with you, you're going to need some help with that. We all do, trust me. And I'm here to do that for you. Okay. So yeah, you've got the first step for you is to get onboarded. So support at FundMyHome.org. Let them know that you'd like to get onboarded. Then once you're onboarded, circle back around with me. They're going to get your funnel all set up, and then I'm going to help you on the digital side get ready to start engaging the Florida clientele, which is a huge opportunity.
Okay. Now, by you saying I can get onboarded, I want to buy in Delaware. I can get onboarded, and then when Delaware opens up, then they'll get back to me.
Okay. Well, the onboarding is to get you. The onboarding is to get you positioned to be able to operate as an associate and to start earning money through your efforts, through your marketing efforts. That's completely separate of filling out the application for grant and down payment assistance. Okay. So you understand that. So yeah.
Yeah, because I've been in for a while. I came in under Dominique's group.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I've been in for a while.
Thank you,
All
Sandra.
right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you very much.
I have one more on the list here. I have Mariana. Mariana, if you can unmute your mic, please.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Go right ahead.
Oh, great. Hello, everybody. I'm just loving this. I am so excited. I don't know what to do. Where to start? The mentoring, all the mentors. I'm sorry. I can't figure out which one I need to email. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're all great. I'm here in Chicago. I'm an associate. And so I've been involved in real estate, but I've never been a realtor. So I'd like to have a better understanding about realtors there in Florida. So, okay, I understand you have, say, for instance, an agent, say somebody just get their licensing there in Florida, and then they have to go and find a sponsoring broker, I believe. And then the broker, and then they work for that brokerage. So I'm okay. And so then you have realtors, maybe they've been in the business for a while, and they've been, marketing whatever areas they do, and they too work for, I don't know, So I'm trying to figure out if you can help me out, because I have done a bit of networking here in Illinois, but I can certainly expand into Florida, no problem whatsoever. But I feel like I need to have a little better understanding about their perspective, because when I think of a realtor, I think that they're getting leads of qualified buyers. Like for instance, if we call a realtor here, they'll say, well, are you qualified? Are you working with a lender?
Right.
I can't show you anything until you're qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What is your question?
yeah. So my question is, how do we, what do we want to say to the realtors, and who do we, and what kind of realtor? I mean, are we trying to talk to the broker? Are we trying to talk to an agent? Are we trying to move that agent from their broker to FundMyHome?
Okay.
Are we trying to track them there? Or,
Okay. And Carlos, can you get an answer to that, please?
Okay, so I'll give a quick answer. Thank you. So real estate agents, professionals, let's say, they are broken into brokers who run the brokerage firms, and then salespersons, real estate agents, who are the salespeople for the brokerage. So your hope is to bring this to the attention of realtors, and they realize that here they get paid 100% split. Here they can also get paid as recruiters every time they bring a realtor and the realtor makes a transaction. Here they can also get a customer through when they couldn't close it because the person was needing many different areas. So they have a deal that is that deal. They could actually continue to make it alive and grow another business. So they could have really 3 businesses here. They could have the FundMyHome.org down payment assistance as an associate member. They could be realtors and getting their full split. And on top of it, they could be recruiters for the realty company. So they got 3 big opportunities here, and they have ability to see more transactions closing. So all you have, the realtors know exactly what they're up to. All you have to do is, you don't need to understand much. Just let them know about FundMyHome.org. They'll understand exactly what is in here for them, and eventually you get it. But what you should do is, you should send us an email to support@fundmyhome.org and tell them that you want to get onboarded and you want to get your orientation call and you want them to gift you and configure your sales funnels and your YouTube advertising campaign. And on top of it, remember that we're going to take care of you with your coaches. So thank you very much. Let's go to the next question if you have another person.
That was our last question. If you'd like to close us out this evening.
Well, I want to thank you very, very much, everyone. Believe me that we absolutely love our people, love our company. We're very happy. We're so delighted with the great opportunities, where the direction that we're going, but we have to do this together. And if it takes us to help you realize it, we're going to talk to you very frankly to help you realize it. We're in Florida. Let's go. And then we'll move to the next step. We can do the new construction, great, but we need more volume, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, nothing can stop you from earning a good living here. So thank you very much. And then we'll see you next week, Ken. So if you could close, it would be great.
Great. Thank you, Carlos. Scott, do you have some closing comments?
I just want to say, God bless everybody, and we're praying for all of you and for our great cause and mission, and we're extremely blessed and excited about the future at FundMyHome.org.
Great. I appreciate it. I want to thank you all for attending this evening. Remember, we'll be back here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I hope to see a lot of your guests on the call. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern. We never change our address. We never change our time. So make sure your associates are aware of it as well. I'll see you back on Facebook. If you have anything that you need from me, that's FMH Associates. Have a great weekend. We'll talk with you next week. Thank you.